Can you make it full screen, please? Anshul, can you make it full screen? Yeah, thank you so much. And I think my view is lost. So can you just show my view as well? Can you show the camera view? Anshul, can you show the camera view? Yeah, thank you so much. Okay, then. Good evening, guys. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Rahul, Rohit, Wamsi, Santosh, Raju, Sachin, Nilesh, Ayush, Abhijit. Good evening, guys. Good evening, everyone. First of all, tell me, how are you all? How are you all doing this evening? Tell me, guys, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Harshada, Sheetal. Good evening, guys. Good evening, Amit, Jenny. I can see a lot of. Oh, yeah. Now, here we go. Bhargav is here. We used your name yesterday. Janvi, Leonard, Sheetal. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, guys. I'm good. I'm good. Deepreet. I'm doing good, and I'm excited for today's session because today we have a lot of things to cover. Okay, so I hope all of you are good as well, and I hope that you guys are excited for the session as well, because yesterday we covered a lot of things, right? We saw what exactly is SQL, right? How the connection works, where exactly it is used in the whole application process, right? And then we saw how to create our own database, how to create a table, and we also inserted a few records in the table, right? And I also showed you how to see all the records that you have inserted in the table, right? Now today we'll move forward from that. Okay, मैं बहुत अच्छा हूँ, मैं बहुत अच्छा हूँ. I think, yep, someone asked me, right? Yep, Ayush, I'm really good, buddy. Okay, so yesterday, guys, we saw a lot of things. We saw some pretty important things, some basic explanation about SQL, where it is used, what it does in the whole application development process, and all that stuff. Now today we are going to start with something called as constraints, one of the most important topics if you're learning SQL. So we'll start our day with constraints, and then after constraints, we are also going to talk about update. We're also going to talk about delete, and we'll also talk about where clause and order by clause today. So these are the things that I'll make sure that all of these are completed by today. And even after completing this, if we get some time, then we'll talk a little more about some other clauses as well. Sir, what's the difference between MySQL and SQL? Yashu, SQL is a language. MySQL is a database management system which uses SQL as a language. So SQL is a language, MySQL is a system, a database management system, like Oracle SQL. It's also a DBMS, but it also uses SQL as a language. That's why they have that SQL in their name, like Microsoft SQL. Now that's also a database software provided by Microsoft, but it also uses SQL as a language. That's why they all have that SQL in their name, right? So guys, these are the things I have planned for today. If we complete all that earlier, then we'll also talk about aggregate functions today only. And sorry, mind my spelling, guys. Please don't mind my spelling. Aggregate functions, and we'll also talk about group by. So first, our aim is to complete this much. And if we complete this much, then we'll move ahead and learn this much. Okay. So now, guys, yesterday we created a table called as LU students. And one more thing, guys, whenever you open Workbench, yes, joins as well. First of all, let's see how much we can complete. If we complete all this by today, then tomorrow's session, it will be joins only. Tomorrow's session will be complete about relationships, different kind of joins and how they work, and some other functions as well. Okay. So now see, guys, every time you open Workbench, don't forget that you have to at least just run this command once so that your database gets selected. Because by default, when you open Workbench, no database is selected. So if you try to run any command, you will get an error. See, if I run this command, I got an error. See the red mark? It says no database selected. That's why it's always important that whenever you open Workbench for the first time, please select just this query, use your database and run it once. And now you're done. Now, till the time you close the Workbench, you can keep on working in that database. Okay. Yes. Tomorrow, after doing joins, I have planned a really simple project for us where we're going to generate a table for a website. So what we'll do is we'll generate a database. We'll try to create tables and relations for a particular, working website. So we'll try something like that. Not only basic operations, but really good operations. We'll also insert record, delete record. We'll write some queries by which, we can fetch very important data as well. So yeah, I have planned a project, but before that, we have to learn a lot of things. So yep, guys, let's go. Let's start. DSC students means describe students. So we have a table called as students already that we created yesterday. So this DSC students does what is, it describes the student table for you. So you can see what are the columns your table has, what are the properties, like, okay, these are all the columns and these are all the types of those columns. So you can see how your table looks like. So I'm confused. SQL and MySQL, can I learn SQL first? After that, I can go for MySQL. You're learning MySQL only. See, MySQL is a software. Yes, MySQL is a software. SQL is a language. So right now, you're learning SQL language through MySQL. So you don't have to learn MySQL separately. Getting my point? You're learning SQL in the MySQL software. You just have to install the MySQL software. And yes, I will show you how to install MySQL software. Don't worry about that. Yes, don't worry. We'll use the last 10 minutes of today's session to install the MySQL software. First of all, we'll cover everything. And then in the last 10 minutes, I'll show you how to install MySQL in your computer. Okay, everyone? Let's start, guys. Let's start with today's session, everyone. Let's start. So now see, guys, yesterday we created a really cool table called as students, which has around 5 columns, which has ID, in which I simply store, some basic IDs that basically holds a unique value for every student. So if I have to just run this command once, you can see. So here we go. This is our ID, 1, 2, okay? And then we have name, age, city, DOB. The reason we have ID is because name can be same, age can be same, city can be same, date of birth can be same. So we need something which can always be unique for every record, so that we can identify one record uniquely. There should be some kind of value, and that is why we have ID. So even if everything else goes same, we still have ID. Now, yesterday I explained it all, but if at all you're confused, you can go back and watch first session of this course as well. Okay. So now then, guys, let's go. And let's first of all insert few more records. Actually, let's not insert. I will insert it afterwards now. Now, guys, today we are starting with the topic of constraints. Okay. So what are constraints in SQL? Okay. What are constraints in SQL? So, guys, you can think of constraints as rules or protocols or restrictions that we apply on column. Rules, restrictions, protocol, or you can also call it as validations. Okay, you can also call it as validations. Rules, restrictions, validations that you apply on columns, so that any harmful data, now here I don't mean harmful data, it can be any bad data or wrong data, it can be anything, so that any harmful or wrong data, okay, now I need more lines here, so that any harmful or wrong data doesn't get inserted in the column. So see, guys, when you're inserting, data in your table, let me show you something. Let me show you. See now. Now we have few problems in our table. My screen is blurred, guys. My screen is blurred. I think it might be the problem with the internet. So, guys, can you just go in your YouTube and upgrade the quality of the video? It might be that issue as well. Okay. Okay. So now, guys, see, as I said, constraints are nothing but rules, protocols, or validations that you apply on columns. Okay, so that some wrong or harmful data doesn't get inserted in the table. Now, what I mean here is this. See, right now, I have created a table and I have not applied any rules that what kind of data should be inserted. Right now, my table only knows that ID requires integer, name requires string, age requires integer. That's all. They only know the types. There is no rule regulation that what kind of data can be inserted. Now, what is the problem with that? Let me show you. See, now let's say I want to add one more student. Okay, but now let's go and let's add one more student. So let's say I'm adding Rohit here. Okay, now see, I already have a student with ID 2, but I'm again putting a new student with the same ID. That is something that I don't want to allow. But if by mistake I make that mistake, you'll see that record will get inserted. Okay, I have made it. Okay, wait. Where is it? Insert into students' values. Am I making a mistake here? Oh, comma, semicolon. So sorry, guys. So here we go. Now see, it's getting inserted. Now if I just select it, you can see now we have a problem in our table. We have two students with the same ID. Now that's a problem. Because ID knows that, okay, fine, you only give me integer. So if I give integer, it's all good. That means it is not having any kind of validations that ID should not be repeated, a same number should not be repeated. That's one problem. Secondly, let me show you some more problems. if I'm planning on to insert one more student, let's say I insert Janvi, and let's say I insert Janvi's age as 0. Now see what happens here. And here we go. See, a 0 is also getting inserted. So that's a problem. And not only this, these are some problems. There are few more problems that may happen. Like for example, at the place of name, if someone passes null, that's all good. See, if I insert it, here we go. It's also getting inserted. That means without any name also, the record is getting inserted. Now, these are some problems. That means, see guys, okay, there's one thing that we can say that, okay, what if I write my queries carefully? Okay, fine. But then you have to always focus on the query, that you write it carefully. And what if by mistake some wrong data comes up? And see guys, you're not always going to write queries. A lot of times your data will come from some front end. As I showed you yesterday, right? Data will come from front end to the API, and API will be responsible for inserting data in the database. What if something happens at the API? What if something happens at the front end? Then again, wrong data will be inserted. And if you're spending money on creating a database, buying a server space, and all the wrong data is getting filled in, that means your site will become slow, your queries will be not optimized, and at the end, you will have a bad user experience for your users, right? And these are the things that we want to avoid. And that's why in SQL, you have some constraints. That means you can apply some kind of validations on the column so that while the data is getting inserted, it can be checked if the data is correct or not. Is that clear, guys? Some kind of rules and validations for every column so that when you're inserting the data, columns will check if this data good, is this data good for me? Yes, then allowed, otherwise block. Don't let the data to be inserted. Okay, so how to do it? So now guys, in total, there are 6 constraints in SQL by default. There are 6 basic and fundamental constraints in SQL by default. Let me name all of them one by one. Then I'll show you the uses of all of them one by one, step by step. So the first and one of the most important constraints that you have is something called as primary key. Okay. Then you have something called as not null. Then you have something called as unique. This is also considered as a key, but you can also call it a constraint. So all of them are constraint, but some of them are also called as keys. Why they are called as keys, I'll tell you afterwards. Don't worry. So primary key, not null, unique, and you have something called as a check. And then you also have something called as, sorry, why I'm writing primary key again? You have something called as foreign key. Okay, don't mind my spelling, guys, if I'm making a mistake. And one more that you have here is a default constraint. Now, these are the 6 main constraints in the SQL language. Is that clear, guys? Yeah, these are all constraints. These are all constraints. These 6 things come under this category. Now, I'll show you how to apply all of them on columns and what constraint does what. Okay, everyone? So let's go. Now, before primary key, what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about not null first. Okay? So now, what is this not null constraint? So not null constraint basically says that if you apply this constraint on any column, if you apply this constraint on any column, that column will stop accepting null. That means now you no longer can insert nulls in that. That's what it says. See, simply the name says not null. So if you apply these constraints on any column, that column will not take any nulls from now on. So let's do one thing, guys. Let's create the student table again. Let's create the student table again. But for that, we need to delete this table, because if that table is already existing, you cannot create the table again. So now let's see how to delete the table. So guys, to delete the table, the command that you have is drop. Don't use delete command. Delete command is for something else. You have a command called as drop. So drop table and table name, that is students. Just run this command and now you can easily drop this table. And that's it. Now, if you see, if you try select star from students, it won't work because that table is not there anymore. It's gone. Okay, you can see table students doesn't exist because that table is gone. Now, I'm going to recreate this table. So I'll keep this query. Now, we'll recreate this with proper constraints. So now, I don't want my name to be null. That's why after writing the column name and after writing the data type, just give a space and you can mention the constraint here like this, not null. And that's it. Name, varchar, not null. So now you have applied the constraint not null. That means from now on, whenever someone tries to enter a null in this particular column, that will not be accepted. Okay. Now, the next thing that you have is unique. Okay. Now, for that, guys, right now we don't have any column for that. So let me create one column here called as email. Now we know that for every student, the email should be unique, right? For every student, the email should be unique. Like, for example, what if I create one record and I pass an email for that student? Now, what if some other student also tries the same email? So I don't want them to be like, I don't want them to insert the same email again. Once an email is inserted in my table, that email should never get repeated in my table again. And for that, the constraint is unique. Okay, so right now I've created an email column. You can also use the constraint on contact number because you don't want anyone to repeat the contact numbers until and unless you want it, right? So here you can go and just put your unique. That's all. Okay. Now, see, what was the problem with age, guys? The problem with age was people were allowed to insert 0. I don't want that. I don't want people to insert age as 0. In fact, I don't want people to insert age less than 3. Let's say this is school stable. Students below 3 will never show up, right? Basically, we do admissions after 3 only. So what I want is, in my table, I don't want anyone to insert record of students whose age is below 3. Now, this is a custom constraint. See, this is not a rule given by SQL, right? It's my personal choice. This particular thing is my personal choice because SQL doesn't know that I have a age column. It knows that not I don't want null, I want unique. But SQL doesn't know that I have a age column and I want that age should not be less than 3. All these are my custom validations. So for any custom validation that you choose personally, you can always go for check. So how to apply it? After your column age int, just write check. And inside that check, you can mention a condition. Check that age should be always greater than or equal to 3. That means now, if someone tries to insert age less than 3, it will show an error. So I'm writing age is integer, but always check before inserting that age column. This is your column name. Should be always greater than or equal to 3, not less than 3 at all. So that's how you do it. Okay, everyone. So check is like a custom constraint. You can apply it on any column depending on your particular reasons. Okay. Now, one more thing, guys. Default constraint is what? Let me tell you. Okay, actually, okay, let's use it. Now, see, sometimes, okay, let's use it afterwards. Let's use it afterwards. I'll create a proper scenario to show you that. Let's use it afterwards, sometime afterwards. Okay. Now, guys, finally, let's go to ID. Now, as I said, I don't want people to repeat ID. I don't want people to repeat ID. Sir is not, don't worry, I will give reply. Why are you, what is the difference? That's, see, don't wait. Guys, I'm reading your questions continuously. It's just, I'm seeing few questions that I'm going to explain in some time. That's why, just wait, don't worry. I'm going to explain you everything. Okay, and you'll understand, don't worry. Now, see, guys, I have this ID column. Now you saw the problem, right? That I was able to insert same ID. That is something that I don't want. Now the first thing that goes in your mind is, oh, we can go and put unique here, right? I can go and put unique here. But one more thing, I also don't want people to insert null in ID. That means ID's value should be there. That means I don't want it to be null. So I can write not null. And I also want it to be unique. So you can give a space and you can also give one more constraint. So you can also write, unique. So your ID can be not null and unique. Same goes for name. Not for name, for email. Email should also be not null. So not null and unique. So that whenever someone inserts an email, email should be there and it should also be unique. But now, guys, we also have one really cool constraint called as primary key. It has two main jobs, but the first job that it has is it is a combo of not null and unique. So first thing that primary key does is it is a combination of not null and unique. That means wherever you're providing not null unique both, rather than passing not null and unique both, you can just put primary key. Right? So primary key constraint makes sure that wherever you have provided it, it should be not null and unique both. So it's a combination. There is one more use of it, which we'll discuss later on, but that's what it does, guys. It is a combination of not null and unique. Now, in this case, you may also say then why are we giving not null unique here? Can't we just pass primary key here as well? Now there's a rule. In a single table, there can be only one column which is primary key. You cannot have two columns or more than one columns having primary key. That's why we cannot give it to email. We can only give it to ID. And there is a reason we are giving it to ID, which we'll discuss later on when we talk about relationships. Right now, just think that it is a combination of not null and unique. And there's a rule that you cannot give primary key to more than one column. Is that clear, everyone? Please confirm, guys. Harshita, I hope I have answered your question now. So unique is only for unique. Primary is a combination of not null and unique. Is that cleared? Everyone, are we cleared? So don't worry, guys. I will reply you. Don't worry. I always reply to questions as much as I can. Don't worry. Okay? It's just sometimes I know that question will be answered in some time. Okay? That's why I wait. Okay? So guys, that's how you apply constraints. Now all the basic rules are like applied on all of my columns. Okay? Tell again primary key. Yes. See, not null unique for email, not clear. Okay, I'll answer both of you. See, now if someone inserts ID, now there are two things I want on ID, right? There are two things I want on ID. That first of all, no one should insert null as my ID, right? And no one should repeat ID. That means ID I don't want ID to be repeated. That means no one should insert ID 2 and 2 twice, or 3 and 3 twice, right? So these two things are that I want to avoid. I don't want my ID to be null, and I don't want my ID to be repeated. So in this case, guys, what we can do is we can apply one constraint can be not null. That means ID will never be null. There should be always a value for ID. But I also want my ID to be unique. ID should never be repeated. So I can also pass unique. But as I said, you don't have to pass two constraints. What you can do is, instead of passing not null and unique both, you can pass primary key, which is a combination of not null and unique. Is that clear? So now ID will never be null, as well as ID will never be repeated, because primary key will make sure that it never gets repeated and it is never null. Now, same with email. I don't want people to insert null in my email. First thing. That is why I have given not null. That means email should never be null. And I also don't want people to repeat email twice. Like someone inserts email as this, and also someone inserts, right, email as the same again. I don't want people to insert emails like this. That is why I have given unique. Now you can ask that why can't we give primary key here? Because there's a rule in SQL that you cannot use primary key twice. Okay? But then to ask this problem, not unique key twice. Yes. So that, guys, one time you can go for primary key, but you cannot repeat the primary key again. That's why after that, you always have to go not null unique if you want both of them. You cannot use primary key twice. Is that clear, guys, everyone? I hope it's cleared, guys. Okay. So these are all the basic constraints. Now, no one can repeat ID. No one can insert null in name. No one can repeat email and insert null in email. Age will be always greater than 3, and all cool. Okay. Now, let's also talk about one last constraint that we have here, which is the default constraint. Okay. So please focus, everyone. So first of all, let me go ahead. Okay. How do you apply it? You write the default constraint here. So default. Okay. And then what is it? It's city. That means it's varchar. That means it's basically a string. So in single quotes, pass a default value. So let's say I pass Mumbai. Okay. Now what will happen is, see, okay, I will explain it with the query. So right now, what I'm saying is city's default value will be Mumbai. Now what actually it does, I'll explain you in some time. Now guys, let's go ahead and let's check all the constraints one by one if they are working or not. Okay. Is there any other option to use as we should use primary key? Is there any other option to use as we should not use? No. If you want, you can pass not null and unique here as well. But the reason we are giving primary keys, it has two jobs. See, one job is it is a combo of not null and unique. Secondly, it will help you create relations. And in future, I want to create relations. That is why I'm giving primary key. Because primary key is the only one which will help you to create relations. That is why we are keeping there. Okay, that means you should always, if you're planning on to create relations in future, you should always have a primary key. And it's mostly going to be ID. Now, why ID? Don't worry. We will talk about that. Guys, don't worry. We'll reach we'll cover all the concepts step by step. So right now I've explained you one thing about primary key. Just wait for some time. I'll also explain you the second thing. Don't worry. And at the same time, I'll also tell you about foreign key. Don't worry. Okay? Yes, yes, guys. Yes, don't wait. Just wait for some time. When we get into relationships, I'll explain foreign key. Trust me. Trust me, I'll explain you foreign key as well. Right now, just please focus on whatever things I'm telling you, and you can completely ask questions, but just wait for foreign key. Okay? Just wait, because it will be better understood when we start with relationships. Okay? Now, guys, let's test. Let's test if all the things that we have applied will work or not. Okay? So let's first of all insert one. And guys, one more thing. Now there are few more things here. Okay, there are few more things here. Now, if you're inserting ID, that means you are giving user or the query writer, right, to insert IDs. The what do you say, provision of inserting IDs. Now, have you ever seen this, that you are going to fill a form online and you are inserting your own ID while creating your account? No, right? We directly fill name and all that. We never insert our own ID, because you cannot give people the provision of inserting IDs. Why? Because if I am selecting my own ID, there are chances that other people in the world can also select the same ID, right? And if you ever go on any website, you can see everything about a product, you can see everything about a user, but you can never see an ID, because that is hidden from the general user and you want to keep it hidden. That's why you never allow the creator of the record, the form filler, the general user, to select their own IDs. So if I don't allow the creator to insert ID, then what? So guys, for that, you can go in ID and you can add an extra collation called as auto increment. Now what this collation does is, it will make sure, now what this will do is, when you start inserting records, it will make sure that your ID starts from 1, and for every new record it will keep incrementing 2, 3, 4, 5 automatically. You don't have to worry about IDs from now on. You don't have to worry about IDs from now on. Now, yeah, guys, if you want your custom IDs like A1, A2, then you definitely have to go with it. Or you can write some program for it in your particular programming language. But normally, SQL provides you with something called as auto increment, which will make sure that your ID starts from 1, and from there, it will keep incrementing. So that now, you no longer have to pass IDs in your queries. You don't have to pass ID in your query now. Can you please tell what, Devansh? So, guys, you guys have already seen, right, that when you create an account, when you're creating a product, when you're creating anything online, when you're filling a form, you never insert IDs. Like, what I'm trying to say here is, see, let's say when you go on something like facebook.com, something like this, don't worry, you'll understand the increment. See, now when you go here and when you click on create account, see, you put your first name, surname, mobile number, new password, and all that stuff. You never insert an ID. You never insert an ID. But that doesn't mean that the record, see guys, when you fill this form and submit, that means in Facebook, there will be a user table. In that user table, all this data will be inserted and their ID will also be there. But you are not inserting it, because internally it is auto-generated. You can't see that ID. It's for internal purposes. ID is always for internal purposes. That is not for the general user. Okay, that is why we are applying this auto increment feature. Now don't worry, you will see what it is doing. So now guys, please focus. As I said, now we are no longer gonna insert IDs by ourselves. Okay, so now focus, please, everyone. Please focus. Now let's say I pass a name. As I said, I'm not gonna pass ID, so skip the ID now. I'm gonna directly pass the name. So let's say I pass name as Isha. And next, that will be email. So I pass, let's say, isha@gmail.com. Then I pass age as 22. And I pass city as, let's say, Delhi. And finally, I pass DOB as, let's say, 1998. I don't know, maybe 03 and 25, something like that. So see, guys, now I'm not passing ID. Now I'm not passing ID anymore, because I'm leaving it up to SQL that you will create ID for me. I know that. Now see, guys, please focus, everyone. Don't worry, guys. I'll explain you default. Just wait for some time. Wait for some time. Now see, guys, if I try to insert this record, see what happens. Okay, I didn't create the student, so sorry. Let's first of all create the table. Create the table, and yep, it is created. Now let's insert this record. And now see, we get an error. The error is column count doesn't match value count. That means your column count is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But your value count is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That means you have 6 columns, but you're only inserting data for 5 columns. So that's an error. It's because I'm expecting that, oh, ID will be generated by SQL. So why do I have to insert? So now, guys, one really important thing here, that whenever you are not inserting everything, see, if you're inserting everything, this query will be fine. But if you're not inserting everything, that you have to make sure that after the table name in your insert command, you go ahead and mention the columns that you're inserting. I have to mention the specific columns that I'm going to insert name, I'm going to insert email, I'm going to insert age, I'm going to insert city, and I'm also going to insert DOB. Now, this is what you have to do. So if you're inserting everything, then normal query is fine. Insert into students' values and all the values. But if you're not inserting everything, you have to specify the columns that you're inserting. That's a rule, and that's a very important thing. So I didn't mention ID because I'm not inserting ID. And guys, in whatever sequence you mention your columns, make sure that in the same sequence you also pass the values. So Isha will go for name, this will go for email, this will go for age. And now if you insert this, guys, please focus. One row is affected. And now, guys, please focus. If I go ahead and do select star from students, can you see that ID is auto generated as 1? Everyone, I didn't create it. I didn't pass value for ID. So this auto increment is doing that. It is automatically creating an ID of 1. And the best part is, if I now insert a new record, let's say, for example, I pass Devansh, and let's say I pass devansh@gmail.com. Let's say I pass 23. And let's say here I pass as Bangalore. Okay, something like, let's say, same birth date, but 2000. Now see, guys, what happens next. It's very cool now. See, if I insert this, and now if you see your records, you already have the next ID as 2. So now see, you no longer have to insert IDs. It's not your job anymore. ID will be auto-incremented. It will be taken care by SQL. Is that clear, everyone? That's what auto-increment does, because you are not going to allow anyone to create IDs. IDs are unique, and if you allow people to do it, people can make mistake. If we run it again, the same data will take new value, right? So yes, see, now you can see it's 2. That's what auto-increment means. Automatically increment it. I hope now everyone is cleared with what that was. That's what I was saying. Wait for some time. You will understand it properly. Just wait for some time. Now, let's also talk about city. What happens if we didn't? Yep, same thing. Now see, guys, now you can see, while creating the column, I mentioned city default value as Mumbai. But when I pass Bangalore, it is taking Bangalore. When I pass Delhi, it is taking Delhi. But now in the same case, if at all you don't pass city, let's say you don't pass city, that means I'm only inserting 4 columns now. Name, email, age, date of birth. Okay, let's pick someone new. So let's say we pass Dhruvin. So Dhruvin. And here I'll go and pass, let's say, Dhruvin@gmail.com, 21. And let's say birth date will be 2002, April, something like, let's say, 6. Now see, guys, what happens. Now I'm not passing city anymore. So now see what happens. If I'm not passing city, by default, it will select the city as Mumbai. That's what default does. Is that clear, everyone? That's what the default constraint does. Dhruvin, I'm using MySQL Workbench. It's an editor. Okay, you can easily download it from internet. But today I'm going to show you how to do all that stuff. So don't worry. Okay. Now, guys, let's test. I hope the basics are cleared, everyone. Now, can we go ahead and test all the other constraints, if they are working or not? This not null, unique, and all that stuff. Guys, should we check all of them? Everyone, let's go ahead and check. Let's make some mistakes intentionally. So now, first of all, let's try inserting null at the name. Let's try inserting null at the name. Okay, let's see that if it is working. So now if I run it, I got an error. Column name cannot be null. Column name, that means the name column cannot be null. I got that error. See, you can see the red mark. Cannot be null. That means you cannot pass null. That's why you always have to give some value. So let's pass a new value. So let's say we pass Imran. Now let's say Imran is trying to hack Dhruvin's account. That's why he is also using Dhruvin's email. Okay, he's also using Dhruvin's email here. So if I go ahead and try, I'll again get an error. Duplicate entry for dhruvin@gmail.com. Why? Because I said email should be unique. And if you have inserted one email once, you cannot repeat it for new record. That's why I'm getting an error. That duplicate entry for Dhruvin. It will not work. See, all of that is working. So fine. Imran understood that no, I don't have to hack now. So he will put his name like Imran. Okay. But now uh, he's again trying to sneak in with some wrong age. So let's say he tries to pass 2 as his age, which we are not allowing because we said that check that age should always be greater than or equal to 3. Let's test it. Again, check constraint violated. Simple, right? It's because you're trying to insert 2. It should always be greater than or equal to 3. So let's pass 17 now. And now perfectly inserted. So now Imran is inserted. Now you can test it. And can you see that, guys? Everyone? I hope it's understood. Now I know that you're going to be definitely asking one question. I'm expecting a question here. Let's see if someone asks that. But first of all, guys, are we cleared? Everyone? And also, guys, please, if you're understanding everything and if you're liking the session, please don't forget to like the video as well. It helps. It basically motivates me to come up with more topics and more energy. So please, guys, please like the video if you're enjoying it and if you're understanding everything. Okay, and keep asking questions. Yep, exactly. Sir ID, why direct 3 to 5? Exactly. That was the question I was expecting. Now let me tell you. See, so this auto increment is an inbuilt functionality. Okay. Yes, because I didn't insert city, right? Vamsi, I didn't insert city. That's why it's by default again Mumbai, because I didn't insert city. That's why again Mumbai. Okay. So default is Mumbai. That means anytime that you don't insert city, it will be always Mumbai. Okay. Now, guys, why ID is 5? Now, see, this auto increment is a functionality which is working for student table. No, it's not skipped. Let me show you, guys. Please try to understand here. This auto increment is a functionality which is working for student table. Okay. So now, whenever you insert, this auto increment thinks, oh, last time I generated 1, this time I should generate 2. Last time I generated 2. So it keeps the memory that for the last record I generated 2, this time I'll generate 3. Last time I generated 4, this time I'll generate 5. So what's happening here is, see, when I tried the wrong query, like for example, let's say last time it generated 5. Let's think. Last time we generated 5. Now let's go and let's again try to insert the same record. Now we know that we'll get email issue because it's same again. So when you run this query before getting inserted in the table, it calls the auto increment functionality. So what auto increment does is, last time it was 5, let's go to 6. But when it was getting inserted in the table, at that time email issue happened. And that's why the record didn't get inserted. But auto increment has already incremented. That's why it is already 6. And next time it will be 7. See, right now the last one is 5. Now I try to insert a wrong record. As soon as I click on this, it will first auto increment. So it will be 6. And then it will try to insert. But at the time of insertion, it will not happen because email is same. But 6, auto increment thinks I have already generated 6. Now 6 is already there, but 6 was generated, but it was not inserted. And that's why when you generate a new record now, for example, SSSS, now auto increment thinks, okay, last time I did 6, so it doesn't matter if it was inserted or not. I generated 6. Now next time I'll generate 7. And that's why you'll see 7 here. And that is why after 3 it became 5. Why? Because I made 2 mistakes, right? For check constraint and for unique constraint. Is that clear, everyone? Yes, Bhavesh, that can be done, but we have to make that functionality. Right now, I have not made that functionality. But that is possible. We can do that. Right now, we're at the very basics. That's why I'm not creating those functionalities as of now. But you can do it. So understood, guys? Auto increment works before insert. That's why it generates, but insert doesn't happen, but it was generated. So we can't do anything about it. And that's fine. Exactly, Bhargav. And guys, it's completely fine. It's not a problem because this is not a serial number. This is what? It's an ID. The most important thing here is it should be just unique. It doesn't matter if it is in sequence or not, or it should be 1, 2, 3, 4 only. Important thing here is it should be unique. So even if it is 5 and then 10 and then 100, it doesn't matter. I don't care. We don't care. It should just be unique, a proper unique ID. That's all. Okay? It's not a serial number, guys. It's an ID. Please understand that. So guys, I hope now you have understood how all these constraints work. Guys, please confirm. Have you understood the value of all these constraints? And guys, in the description, there is so if you're new here today, in the description, there is a link of course registration. Please go ahead and register yourself for this course. Then only you're going to get the certificate. So you have to register yourself for this course. Okay. Then only you'll be able to get the certificate and also the assignment questions. So link is in the description. Go there, click on that link and register yourself. And also assignment submission link is also there. So only if you register for the course, you'll be notified about the assignment. So you can complete the assignment and then upload it there. And also, guys, there is also a Java DSA course coming up. Link for that also is in the description. Please check that out. And we are also starting with a really cool B.Tech computer science course. So if you want to check that out, you can also go ahead and check that out as well. All the links are in the description. Okay. No fees. For this course, guys, no fees. Just register yourself and you'll be easily able to get the certificate. Okay. And let me just put my phone on silent, guys. Yep. I'm so sorry about that. If you've heard that tune. Okay. No. It's not deleted. If someone is saying 4 is deleted, it's not deleted. It's just auto increment happened, but it never got inserted. That's all. Yes. I'll show you. Don't worry. Sir, how age can be auto-generated? Yes. Because see, that's a little tricky functionality. For that, we need some kind of functions. So I'll show you that afterwards. Don't worry. Okay. Okay, guys. Cool. Ram Surya, if we want to solve that issue, what we have to do is we also have to make sure we have to create a functionality which checks if it is not inserted, reset the auto increment. So we have to create a functionality for that, a separate functionality, which I'm not going to do right now because it will take a little bit of time and more logic. And for that, first of all, we have to learn a little more. Okay. So guys, let's go ahead, everyone. Let's move ahead. So I hope all the constraints are clear to you. Everyone, please confirm that once. Okay, now we can move ahead to the next topic for today, which is one of the most important ones, which is the where clause. And after that, we'll also talk about operators. Okay, so let's go, guys. Yes, obviously there is a use of this certificate, right? You can show that you have already learned SQL. Okay. So now, guys, see, let's go here. Please focus, guys. Please focus. Now, when you do select star from students, you're simply saying fetch all the columns for me, all the columns and all the records for me. Now, what if you only want to see few columns? Like, okay, I only want to see name and email. I only want to see email and age. What can you do in that case? So for that, guys, you can write select. See, guys, select will be always the command. Select will be always the command if you want to see the data that you have in your table. Okay. So select. Now, instead of mentioning star, you can mention the column names like name, comma, email. So column name 1, column name 2, comma, column name 3, and just like that, you can mention n number of columns. Okay. I have not given that yet. Assignment, guys, I have not given that yet. After the session today, I'll share the assignment with the moderator, and the moderator will give the assignment to everyone who has registered for the course. Okay, it will be forwarded to you. And guys, don't worry about the foreign key. Once we talk about relationships, that is maybe most probably tomorrow, then the foreign key will be in use. I want you to understand foreign key perfectly. That's why I will only explain foreign key when it is needed, so that you understand it properly. Okay, so don't worry, guys. I am gonna talk a lot about foreign key because it is one of my favorite topics, relationship of tables. So don't worry, guys. Okay. So select column name 1, which you want to fetch, like name, column name 2, which is email, and just like that from table name. Okay. And if you just do this, you can see now you get only 2 of them. You can mention as well. You can mention select name, email, DOB. And just like that, you can easily see. So now star means all the columns. And this means you're selecting the number of columns that you want. That means you're filtering with columns. You only want few columns. Okay. Now, this is not the only case. Now, column fetching is easy. But now what if I want to fetch, let's say, records based on conditions like, oh, only show me the records of whose age is greater than 22, or only show me the records who live for the people who live in Mumbai, or only show me the record for Imran. What if someone does something like this? See, filtering columns is easy. That you can simply mention the columns. But what if you want to filter the rows? You don't want to see all the rows, you don't want to see all the records, you want to filter the records based on age, that okay, for this age only show me the records, for this city only show me the records. What if we want to do that? So for that, guys, in here in SQL, you have something called as a where clause. Where is used for specifying conditions so that you can filter the records, so that while fetching or while doing anything, you can target a particular set of records or filter the records. Is that clear, everyone? Guys, are we understanding? Please don't worry about the assignment, everyone. Just go in the link below in the description, register yourself for the course, and then the assignment will be forwarded to you. The assignment question will be forwarded to you. Okay. So, guys, as I said, there are a lot of times when we want to target or want to see only few records based on some condition, like just give me the records of age 17, or just give me the record of people living in Delhi. So what if you want to filter the records? For that, guys, you have one and only one of the most important clauses in SQL, that is where clause, which is used to specify condition, which will help you to do what? To filter the records, to only get the records that you want. Because select star will get all the records. Or even if you write select the number of columns, it will select the number of columns, but it will give you all the records. So by default, it will always give you all the records. But now you want to filter it. And for that, you have where clause. So let's test it. How does it work? So the syntax is, guys, let's say I want all the people whose age is greater than 20. Show me all the records whose age is greater than 20. So first of all, select star. Star means all columns. Select all columns from table name. So now this much query will give me all the columns and all the records. But I don't want all the records. I only want the records whose age is greater than 20. So how do you do that? Give a space or come to the second line and use something called as where. Where, then mention the column name that you want to check. So I said I want all the records whose age. So age column I'm using. So where age, and my condition was the age should be greater than 20. So you can use the greater than operator and 20, and that's it. Select star from students. So select all the columns from students, but fetch the records of only the people who have age greater than 20. And now if I run this command, you'll see I only get the record of people whose age is greater than 20. So that's how you do it, everyone. That's how you do it. Drop command is still there. How then table works? See, this is like an editor. Until and unless I don't select that and execute, it will not bother us. Is that cleared, Sivaranjani? Until and unless I select. See, the only queries which work here is when I select. All the queries are not working. If I select, this query will work. If I select, this query will work. So even though I've written everything, to execute, I have to make sure, like I have to select which command I want to work right now. So even if it is there, I can use it afterwards. So it will be fine. It will not drop. All the records are not getting executed. Okay. So guys, that's how you can apply simple where condition. But it is much more than that. Like for example, what if you want people living in Delhi? So again, same thing. Select star from students. Now guys, you tell me, everyone, what will be the condition for people living in Delhi? Where now the column is city because you want to compare Delhi. So Delhi is in city, where city is equal to Delhi is a string, so Delhi. Now here we go. There's only one record. There's only Isha living in Delhi. So here we go, Delhi. And guys, also instead of star, star means all the columns. If you only want few columns, you can also mention it here, like just show me the name and email of people living in Delhi, just like that. And here we go. I hope you're understanding everything. If I want only name for age is less than 20, yep, Harshada, something like this. Just select name. As I said, star means all the columns. So just write select name. That's it. Whatever column you want, you can easily mention it. Okay. Now then, guys, let's talk about few more operators. See, I'm using greater than and equal to. You have more than that. Operators such as, yes, Pranit, don't worry. When we start with relationships tomorrow, I am gonna be explaining foreign key completely. And yes, update and delete will do it just now. Just give me some time. Okay, I'm not gonna leave you for update and delete. Update and delete will do it, and then we'll end this session. And tomorrow, once we come back, we'll directly start with relationships. Okay. So, guys, operators, we have greater than, less than, we have greater than equal to, we have less than equal to, right? And we also have not equal to, which looks like this. And we also, these are what we call as comparison operators. You also have logical operators like and or when you want to specify multiple conditions. For example, see, let's say you want people who live in Delhi and Mumbai. Like, first of all, no one can live in Delhi and Mumbai, right? It's not possible to live at two places at once. Okay, but okay, let's not that. Let's say I want to fetch people whose age is 17 and they should live in Mumbai. Okay, so what can I do, guys? Everyone, I want people whose age is 17 and also they live in Mumbai. So give me all the people whose age is 17 and they should also live in Delhi. So I have two conditions and both should be true. So in that case, select star from students where first condition was age should be 17. And now you're going to use and. Why and? Because you want both the conditions to be correct. So and, that's where this logical operator comes in. And where age 17 and city equals Delhi. Sorry, Delhi, like this. Okay, and if you just run this now, let's see if we have someone. No, we don't have anyone. Do we have people having age 17 and they live in Mumbai? Let's check that. Let's see if we have them. And yes, see, we have two Imrans. Both of them have age 17 and they live in Mumbai. Okay, so and is basically used when you want to specify multiple conditions. Okay, you can also specify one more condition and one more condition and one more condition, and you can go on and on and on. Is that clear, guys? Everyone? So and is used to combine multiple conditions, and make sure that both should be true. But in the same case, you can also use or. Now, in the case of or, it's like either age should be 17 or city should be Mumbai. So if I run this, you'll see I get Dhruvin as well. Now Dhruvin's age is not 21. Sorry, Dhruvin's age is not 17. So first condition is false for Dhruvin. But city is Mumbai. So he comes because we have or. Either 17 or Mumbai. Yes, we are going to cover joins tomorrow, Devpreet. Tomorrow's session will be all about relationships and joins. Yes. Okay, everyone? Guys, I hope it's cleared. SQL queries are, they are not case sensitive. No, you can simply go ahead and you can also write something like this. It will also work. Okay, so they are not case sensitive. Is that cleared? Okay, but I personally like to write it in this way. Some people write it in the capital letters. It's completely your personal preference. Nothing is wrong in this case. Okay, so understood, guys, the difference between and or. Okay, don't worry. Hack Pro, not only CRUD project. CRUD is very simple. Right now, what we are doing is CRUD. We are going to do a really amazing project. We will try to create a database of something really cool. Okay, not only simple CRUD. We'll do something really cool. Don't worry. So, guys, I hope we are cleared with basic and or. And you can all try all this, right? I showed you greater than, I showed you equal to. You can try less than, greater than, equal to. I think all of that is very easily understandable. You can use them whenever you want. Okay. Now, guys, the next thing that I want to show you is, now, guys, please sit today and play with all these conditions. Play with all these conditions, mention multiple columns and all that stuff. Okay. Please make sure that you do it. Now, guys, let's focus on the next very important thing. Okay. After this, that is how to delete records from your table. Okay, so let me just select it again and let's see all the records now. Now see, guys, we have all the records, but I by mistakenly mentioned Imran twice. Now I want to delete Imran from this table. This last Imran I want to delete from this table. So how can I delete it? So guys, the command to delete a record from your table goes like this. First you'll write delete. No, drop table will drop the table. I don't want to delete the table. I only want to delete that single record. Okay. So delete. So if you want to remove the table, then you can go for drop. If you want to delete a record, then no drop, only delete. So delete from table name. Okay. How to drop a single data. That's what we are doing. That's what we are doing. Okay. So delete from students. So delete from table name. Now, if I run this command, it will delete all the records. Table will not be deleted, but it will delete all the records. And that is something we don't want. Okay. So again, guys, by default, this command will delete everything. But as I again said, I want to target a particular record. And to target a particular record, we always have to use where. Whether you're selecting, whether you're deleting, to target a set of records, always use conditions. So where, now you can use anything. So I can use where name equals Imran. But if I use name equals Imran, what will be the problem, guys? The problem will be I have two Imrans. So both of them have name Imran and both will be deleted. I only want to delete this one. So I have to find something unique. Age, date of birth, everything is same. Email is different. So either I can use email, but it's a very big statement. Why to write that much? I know I have IDs. So I want to delete the person whose ID is 7. So I can simply go and write where ID is 7. And that should be it. If I run this, and if you again fetch all the records, you'll see now that Imran is deleted. See that Imran with ID 7 is gone now. Is that cleared, everyone? Understood, everyone? Does someone ask the question about difference between delete and truncate? Yes, Dippreet. See, I'll tell you. I've not showed you that yet. But when you delete, the data gets removed. If you just delete everything, all the things will be removed. But the table's cache is not cleared. Table still thinks that, okay, fine, 5 records are deleted. And when you start with a new record, the new ID will start. The table is not reset. Like, for example, if you have records with ID 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and if you delete all of them, and if you insert a new record, the ID for that record will be 6. Okay, because delete is always in the history. But if you truncate the table, all the records will be deleted and the table will also be reset. The auto increment will also be reset. So now the new records will start with ID 1. Is that cleared? Exactly. So truncate is for clearing everything at once and resetting the table. Auto increment also gets reset. Okay. So don't forget that. So guys, that's how you delete record. Now what if I want to update? Okay. So let's say by mistakenly I put Mumbai as city for Imran. Now let's say Imran changed his city. Let's say Imran is now in, let's say, Hyderabad. So I want to remove this. I want to change Mumbai to Hyderabad. So how to change it? Very easy. Let's see, guys, how to update a particular column for a particular record. The command is update table name. Students. Update students. Set which column you want to update. I want to update city column. What is the new value? The new value is Hyderabad. So update students, set city equals to Hyderabad. Now, if I run this command, everywhere it will be Hyderabad. All the city will be updated to Hyderabad. But I don't want that. What I want is change it only where ID is equal to 5. So perform this query, but only where ID is 5. So wherever the ID is 5, the city will be changed from anything to Hyderabad. Is that clear, everyone? And if you want to update more columns, you can go ahead and just add more columns like city Hyderabad. And let's say you also want to update the email ID. So email equals to some new email, DOB equals to some new DOB. You can just go on and like that. You can also update multiple columns. Is that cleared? Krishna is asking if you want to delete multiple records. Just mention multiple conditions, right? Let's say you want to delete 2 and 3. So where ID equals to 7, okay, and in that case you can go like this, where ID in, instead of using equal to ID in, you can pass what do you say, 3 comma 7. So now this will remove, guys, that's how you can pass multiple values. Instead of equal to, you can use the in operator. So delete from students where id in, that means id is equal to 3 and 7 both. So id in 3 7. So 3 and 7 will be deleted in that case. So you can use in operator for that case. Okay. So in is basically used to specify multiple values for a single column. Is that clear, guys, everyone? Now let's test it. Okay, let me also update the DOB. Let's say I also want to update the DOB to, 2001. So, sorry. So 2001, let's say 03. So basically he was from 04. So I'm putting it 03. And let's say, 21. So now city will be updated to Hyderabad and date of birth will change to 2001. Let's see. And here we go. Let's go ahead. See that? Hyderabad and all that stuff. Can we take more than 2 parameters for in operator? Yes, yes. 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9. Devpreet. Possible. Yes, completely possible. Yes. Okay. How to do inner join and outer join? Guys, relationship. Tomorrow's complete session is going to be dedicated to relationship. So don't worry. Tomorrow when you come here, please make sure that you come. Okay. We're going to talk about relationships, how to create them, why do we create them, what is the need, and how to use joins. Tomorrow's whole session is for that only. So please make sure that you join. And please, guys, if you're enjoying the video, if you're understanding everything, please don't forget to like the video, guys. Please. I can see 200 people watching, but there are only 100 likes. So please, everyone, go ahead and like the video, everyone. Please, please. Only if you're enjoying the session, definitely. Can we use equal to instead of in? See, equal to is for single comparison. Right? See, when you use equal to, it's like equal to 7. If you write equal to 7 comma 6, is it possible? Just think. Logically, it's not possible, right? Something cannot be 7 and 6 both. That's why you have in, where id in. Now you can mention 45, 67, 89. So id, if the id falls in any of these, if it is either 45, if it is either 67, if it is either 89, delete it. Okay. Equal to is for single check. Only single check. Equal to 7 means, okay, only if the id is 7. Now, guys, let me tell you the difference between delete and truncate. Okay, please focus. See, now if I delete this Imran, or let's say let's delete this Imran, everyone. Please focus. Let's delete the Imran with ID number 5. So, ID 5. If I delete, yes, I have covered update, right, Sachin? Here we go. Update, we have done it. Now, see, guys, if I delete Imran here, okay, before delete, let me cover order by. Sachin, yeah, I'll do that. Let me cover order by at least, guys. Now, see, when you perform select star from students, you can see all the records, correct? Now, what if you want to see this in a sorted fashion? What if you want to see it in a sorted fashion? Why we didn't use truncate? Why deleting? See, Shane Baga, truncate is used for removing all the records. What if you only want to delete one record? In that case, you will use delete, right? If you have millions of records and you want to delete only one record, are you going to use truncate? No. Truncate will remove all the records, all the millions of records. And you don't want that. Now, guys, see everyone. This gives me this result set. Now, what if I want to see my records in a sorted fashion based on age? Like I want to see the records sorted by age in descending order. Like it should be like ascending order. Like it should be 17, 21, then 22, then 23. So what if I want to do this? So whenever you want to see your records in a sorted fashion based on any column, you can always use something called as order by. So select star from students, order by, and then which column? Age. By default, order by makes sure that it will be doing it in ascending. So if I do it, see what happens. Now it's ordered by age. And you can see based on age, it's 17, 21, 22, 23, ascending order. If you want to do it in descending, then you just have to mention order by this column. And at the end, just mention DESC. That stands for descending. And if you just do this, here we go. Now it's descending 23, 22, 21, 17. Okay. So that's what you can do. Is that clear, everyone? That's where order by is used. And guys, if you're using order by in a query where clause is also there, remember that order by should be always at the end. Order by should be the last statement. So if I'm also using where condition, it will go like this. Where any condition here, and order by should be at the end. Order by should always be the last statement. If you don't have where, then it's fine. But if you have where, then order by should come after where, not before. Okay. Now see, guys, when I delete a record, for example, if I delete Imran again, cool, I deleted Imran. Okay, now if you see the records, Imran will be not there. You can see that. Now let's say I insert one more record, a new record. Let's say I insert Sachin, right? And yes, email is fine. Or let's just use Sachin here. And all the things we can keep same. Now please focus. If I execute this, see the ID. See the new ID that is generated. The new ID is 8 because 6 and 7 were already used. Right, everyone? 6 and 7 were already used. So delete doesn't reset the table. If you delete a record, that ID is also lost. It's gone. Now the new records will always have new ID. But what if you want to delete all the records? So there are two options. First option is delete from students. This will delete all the records. This will delete all the records, but the next record that you create will start from 9 because the table is not reset. Auto increment is still working. So if I run this command, all the records will be deleted, but the next record will start from 9 because cache is there. But if you use truncate table students, this will delete all the records and it will completely reset the table. See, if I truncate, now all the records are gone. See here, everything is gone. But now if I insert one record, let's say I insert someone new. Let's say I insert Samarjeet. Summer. See now what happens. This new record will get ID of 1. Everything is reset now. That's what truncate does. Truncate means clear everything. So deleting won't reset the table. Is that clear, everyone? Guys, what if we don't mention the ID where? We have not mentioned it already. What if we don't mention where? We are not mentioning ID now. Okay. So basically, truncate clears everything. Delete holds the cache. Truncate clears the whole table. The whole table gets fresh, reset. Abhijit, what was the question did you ask? Does drop table reset the table? Yeah, it completely resets the table. The table is lost. It's gone. Truncate doesn't delete the table. No. Truncate deletes the records. Table is still there. That's why you are able to insert. Drop deletes the table. So you have to again create the table. Is that cleared, guys? So remember, everyone, delete command deletes the records. Truncate command deletes all the records, but table is there. Drop command deletes the table. So you have to create the table again if you drop. Okay. So delete is used for deleting records. Deleting records. Truncate is used for deleting all records at once and resetting the table, not removing the table, just resetting the table. And this is completely deleting or destroying the table. This is the difference, guys. This is the difference. Okay. Exactly. So use delete for deleting a particular record. Use truncate if you want to clear all records at once and reset the table. And use drop to remove the table so that you have to create the table again. Okay, everyone. I hope you understood. DSC means descending as well. Yes. There are two meanings of Himanshu. Yes, there are two meanings of DSC. So if you use it with table, it's describe. And if you use it with the order by, it's descending. Yes. What will be the query if we want to find the second highest age? The query will be to first order by and then fetch the second record. So a little practice will be needed to approach that. Yes. Can we recover table? Yes, you can recover table. If you have not purged it, if you have not permanently deleted it, you can definitely recover the table. Okay. So guys, I was planning to show you the installation process, but we are always above time. We are all already above time. So don't worry. Tomorrow, if at all I will be unable to show you the installation process, I'll share you something where you can easily understand how to install MySQL in your own PC. Is that clear? As you know, we only have 3 days and 3 hours, and I'm still trying my best to at least extend a little bit, but we have already extended it. So don't worry, guys. If at all tomorrow I will be, if I am unable to explain you the, because see, installation is secondary, you can easily get it anywhere. Main things are all these things. So first we'll cover all these things, and if at all we don't get time tomorrow as well for checking out the installation process, I will give you some video links where you can easily follow the process and install MySQL in your PC. Don't worry. Is that clear, guys? Everyone? So first of all, tell me, everyone, have you guys understood all the things that we have learned, and did you guys enjoy the session? That is the most important question. This is only the 3-day SQL boot camp. So first of all, it's completely like impossible to cover it in only, because see, it is 3 days, but it is 3 hours only, 1 hour every day, right? So I can try to extend a little bit of 10 minutes, 15 minutes every day. But again, we cannot cover the whole SQL, but I'm giving you the Kickstarter. I'm giving you all the fundamentals. Based on this, you can build now. You can go on YouTube. You can join our Let's Upgrade courses as well. In our courses, we teach all these things complete in detail. Like there is a 15, 16-day long course for SQL. So you can go to letsupgrade.in and check out our courses as well, guys. If you want to learn complete SQL, there I'll be there teaching you the whole SQL, and not only SQL, a lot of different things as well. Complete web development and app development. Okay. But yes, we have almost completed a lot of things actually. You can say that you have already completed 30 to 40% of SQL. And tomorrow, after doing joins, we have already completed 50 to 60%. Only some things will be left that you have to learn on your own, or you can also join the classes as well. So we have already covered a lot of things in just 3 days. And it's all because of you. You guys are focused and you guys are enjoying it. That's why we are able to complete. So yep, guys, that's it for today. Tomorrow I'll again see what I can do, because tomorrow's main topic is relationship. If we complete relationship fast, then I can show you a few more things as well. And I'll share you some important helpful links as well, where you can learn you can continue your journey of SQL and learn more about it. Yes, relationship will be covered tomorrow. So also tell your friends and people who want to learn. And also, guys, please share this video to people so that they can also learn and they can also join tomorrow's session, because tomorrow it's relationships. Very important. Okay. And guys, please register for the course. I will give the assignment to the moderator, and moderator will roll out the assignment to all of you. Okay. So tomorrow, if we get time, I'll show you installation process. If we don't get time, I'll share you the video link where you can see the whole installation process. Is that clear, guys? So yep. So guys, that's it, everyone. I hope you enjoyed. Please don't forget to like the video and also subscribe the channel if you're new. And I'll see all of you tomorrow exactly at 6:30. Yes, I'll close the notepad. No worries. Yep. So sorry. I opened it. I'll close it here. And guys, I'll also share this SQL file. I'll also share this whole file with moderator. So this file will be also shared to you. Okay. So assignment question and this whole file will be shared to you. You can also open it in your workbench. Okay. So that's it, guys, everyone. Thank you so much. Have a great night. Bye-bye. I'll see all of you tomorrow. I hope you guys enjoyed. Bye-bye, guys. Assignment will be rolled out. Please register for the course. Okay. Bye-bye, everyone. Bye-bye, everyone. See you tomorrow at 6:30. Bye-bye. Good night, guys. Good night, everyone. Bye-bye.